Hey, what's up? For those of you that didn't make it to my reading last Saturday at the Church of the Oasis, I'm going to read what I read that night. Anything you're supposed to understand from these things I read, I will make brutally clear. If you don't get it, you're not supposed to understand it. I might not. The first poem is from a book I'm working on called 59 Poems for Cash. And this, unfortunately, is a Netflix poem. The apology and whatever your liver doesn't do. Having a bad day? Simple. We just take all of the blood out of your body and run it through a pig. The blood is cleaned and we send it back in. In the meantime, he believes he was poisoned by hemlock. Let's move on to a joke about Dr. Euripides. He's searching for a magic little pill somewhere. Through an office, through a belief that everyone lies, or that certain stereotypes fit a reason to wear certain white-colored lab coats. But don't worry. You're home now. The addict says to the pill, sliding the light down his throat into his open mouth. The pig's liver will do what your living can't. This next poem, the title is the first word of the poem. Warning. You are about to enter an Let me start that one over again. Warning. You are about to enter a restricted area, the official verse culture zone. You should be warned that a hard hat is recommended and is required, that you wear a hard hat. We say this so you can save what you can while you still can. And I am a pepper window because they forced me to be published by one of those large New York publishing houses that you find in Boston, Los Angeles, Paris, London, or DC. Or other places have been left blank intentionally. This to protect what once was. This to protect what was once called innocence. I always had to change my name every day at every long con of the season, at the fractal mission statement and many credos of other descriptions, and interest paid on New Lyric, the subversive repetition advocate. If I were them, I would say that I sit half the time to pinch out a loaf of a disgusting story without getting thirsty for a bankroll of ice cream. And they won't, and they say they won't, cut me any more slack next month. This next poem is a combination of two words, free and relapse. The title of the poem is Free Lapse. The horse hooves blog parkways, sending fleshy apples like a leopard, treat the sounds like anyone else. The horse hooves blog parkways. My gal pals aren't soft on anyone. Treat the text messages like anyone else. The tech-savvy interviews. How are you relaxed? The friend vacation. My gal pals aren't soft on anything. was 5 and wouldn't sit still. The stories were crafted into short skits. Treat the sounds like anyone else. Sending fleshy apples like a leopard. How are you relaxed on a friend vacation? The survivors will evolve in a pattern. The tech-savvy interviews. Treat the sounds like anyone else. Treat these updates like anyone else. Sending fleshy apples like leopards. Treat the sounds like anyone else. The first sentence of this poem is the title. The text of that line is too short, but don't respond. This document is deep. Time spent to study the pile next to the copier, and feet hate us. New to stacks of hashtag computer paper. This identical to gardens of teeth. And I work at a garage spelled as French pressed hashtag coffee. But you can't call yourself a legend. Break the electric track and field amid stumpy hashtag life. The text of that past line is too short, but don't hashtag respond. Everyone hashtags it. The title of this next poem is over 2 lines, but it's shorter than the last one, ironically enough. Daily but infinite procrastination. There isn't enough time. The sheet hangs on the skin of the skull, but really it's a white popcorn wall. How do you make it then? The sand is behind the video world. I wish I was impressed or cold. To dream is a pack of wild dogs, hidden with the slight of lifespan in pure math is a starfish. And the last poem I'm going to read is in a book all its own. It's a long poem. It's called Mandala. A fox crosses highway halfway, then turns back. Spine guardrail, moments, a series of lines. These messages we remain. Changed personal view from a dollar bill. Paging actually towards loss. The places we have known. A lesson in discomfort. Feel free to stop the heart. It's called a commute. Letters writing in words witches are meant. This is the first family. Fox cross highway, then turns back, runs back. His record of 112 shutouts still stands. Then turns halfway as a half rhyme. The change thrown towards bridging space. I am a caveman, always have been, always will be. Everyone owns a computer. Completely figurative. The real fifth gear. Yes, Homo sapien. This is the first family. Let's economy the save. So the human environ will be left. Anything left. With rain stopped I will a phone evening. Is yesterday placid track, grow the soup, then eat the foam. The Ford doesn't start up on blocks. No song cat on roadside sings. Let us begin, says Hesiod. This one each to each. What happens then temper is apart. Pour a part. Made it to work without my hair or makeup. I stared at my bare boxers all night here in the society of harmonious fists, learning in past events as relates humans, hordes of contorting their own symphonies and timpanists, the current regimen of who is right and who is wrong, and interpreted and poeticized and politicized our own couches, all hoarding their own context for history and facilitating personal history like a discus moves through a nationality or the TV news anchor, past evoking, relating to stories of the human racist. The modern discontinuity, dedicated institutional of these hordes now made electric by their profiles. Why does anyone care that they're dressed like Greeks? The modern discord of a hoax. For the next 2 or 3 years, the Ford won't start. Skeletons cinder up on blocks. The yellow cat road edge been saying with great human dependence since 1918. The lips in mine turn slow, a book of people held with 3 silver rings along the spin, coding our mind like a new line to a poem. I want to be bruised by God. Never knew teamwork didn't exist until I joined the Chicago White Sox. The sands of parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Because evening arrives soon and stench as airplanes is my mouth. The love from a country as a land, a 4-lane bridge, count the grass, the graffiti is kissing my mouth, but what else would I want? Brushing my teeth with carbon-based life forms. I would fear this rebirth, a record year for rainfall. Sweat today, too much fang polish. Is this irony my car speaking in a play? Just need to get away, get away. I make this stretching in our bodies invisible, this how I wish. But saying so is the nudity harvested. I would, but I quit drinking blood. With the great human dependence, wear sandals. None of the people will mix it up with you. Perhaps a literal translation in some other language of this dated poem, yet played in a burnt orange room. We didn't kiss. Always writing, from one place to the next and back again. Sit tall in late grass, the pressed plan to appear if animal death didn't happen at random. But no soothing cannibal, extent small woodland creature to all plants. all planets, they all with life, and we go picking wildflowers before they are forever gone from this blanched Martian surface. Thank you.